folks, and welcome to this video where I'm going to compare these two cats. So I've got my Joy for All cat, Marmalade, and I've got my 2002 Furreal Friends cat, who we've now named Mittens. So I'm going to power down both the cats. So that we can compare what they like visually first, before looking at the electronics. So if we look at the faces, a close-up of the faces side by side, we can see that they are very similar, especially the nose. The nose looks like it's the same mould, which wouldn't be surprising as they were both originally made by Hasbro. The shape of the face is also similar. The mouth on the Joy for All opens mechanically, electronically. The mouth doesn't move on the Furreal Friends, but you can actually open it by hand. So there's some detail inside, but not as much as the Joy for All, and it doesn't actually have any teeth. Pooh Kitty, no teeth. What I'd say I prefer though on the Furreal Friends is the eyes. I think the eyes are really amazing. They're a beautiful grey colour, and the iris is sort of got little specks in it. Very realistic. And it's got sort of like what looks like it's supposed to be skin around the eye, so they're really realistic. Whereas where the Joy for All eyes are nice, I don't think they're as realistic, especially as they don't have this sort of detail around them that looks like sort of skin. It's just got some white plastic around it. So I think overall the face on the Furreal is more realistic because of the eyes and also because of the shape of the muzzle. The Furreal Friends has got a nice, neat little cat muzzle, whereas the Joy for All is a bit too wide here. It's sort of too big, the muzzle. And I think that's because they've had to make it like that to fit the opening mechanism. So there's been a bit of sacrificing realism to have movement. Though in the case of the eyes, the Furreal Friends does close its eyes as well, but they've still managed to make the eyes more realistic in the Furreal Friends. So looking at the cats' bodies now, they're very different indeed. So they've got them in two different positions. So the Joy for All's lying on its side, whereas the Furreal Friends is sitting with its paws all tucked up. And they're both realistic poses. They're both poses that you actually see cats have. In terms of weight, the Joy for All is quite a bit heavier, but it does have more moving parts, so I suppose you would expect that. In terms of non-mechanical movement, you've got the wobbly head of the Furreal Friends. So it always moves a little bit, and when you stroke it, it actually moves, which is quite nice. And it retains that when it's actually switched on. It sort of incorporates that within their head actually moving mechanically. It's also got this wobble, which is really leads to really nice subtle movements. Whereas the Joy for All, you can't move the head at all when it's not powered up. The Joy for All does have posable legs, which are a nice feature, especially if you wanted to say just have it around in the house and you wanted to look a little bit different, or you maybe want to take some photos. The tail on the Furreal Friends is really quite stiff because that's got a moving mechanism in, so you don't want to force that at all when it's not switched on. Whereas the Furreal Friends is just a bit of fur. It's not actually got anything inside, it's just a bit of fur. Looking at the underneath of the cat, the Furreal Friends cat, you can see that there's very little detail at all. The Joy for All, in contrast, has got these lovely little paw pads, even on the front paws, even though you don't actually see that when it's lying down. I like the fur on both these cats. The Joy for All does feel a lot softer. The Furreal Friends feels quite rough in comparison. But I like the looks of the fur on both of them. So I'll power the cats up now so that we can compare their movements and sounds. So the Joy for All makes a wider range of meow sounds. So we'll compare what cats are like when they're being stroked. So the Joy for All does have these extra movements, being able to lift its paw. I do think the purr on the Joy for All is a lot more realistic and authentic. And then the Joy for All has this other movement where it can roll over on its back. There's a difference in what the cats do when you stroke their cheek. With the Furreal Friends turning towards your hand, which is cute. So we've seen that the Joy for All has got some more movement than the Furreal Friends, in that it can lift one of its legs up and lick its paw, and it can roll over on its back. But there's some other movement that the Furreal Friends makes, which the Joy for All doesn't. This is a bit shocking, and that's when you annoy the Furreal Friends by touching it close to its tail. I must say though that I really like these two cats next to each other, just chilling. I think they complement each other really nicely. I think the Joy for All can meow a bit too much. I find the Furreal Friends more relaxing, and that it's not meowing all the time. Though of course you can put the Joy for All on mute. But I think the Furreal Friends maybe has the edge in terms of being a relaxing little presence. I love those subtle little head movements. They're so nice. It's amazing that it's 20 years old, still working, that they could make something like this 20 years ago. And at the time, it wasn't aimed at adults, though of course it appeals to adults far more than kids. So Paul, what do you think of these two cats?
I like them both. I did have a preference for the grey one for its realism.
That's Mittens.
Mittens, yeah. That's the Furreal one, isn't it? But after seeing them together for a while, I like them together. I think you said they complement one another. Mittens looks like an old cat, and the other one looks like a young cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love them together.
I do think that these Furreal Friends cats are really undervalued at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I got this cat for just £26.30, including shipping. And it's 20 years old and it works perfectly. It's in really good condition. And I'm sure these are going to go up in value.
So, are any of the Furreal range collector's items?
Oh yeah, quite a few of the old Furreal Friends are bought by collectors now. Yeah. I think this is one of the lesser known ones. I didn't know about it until I came across it on eBay. Now, a Lulu cat, which everybody knows about.
Yeah.
If you get a Lulu cat and it's working and it's in good condition, you'd be very hard pushed to get one for even £50. And I think it's that people just don't know about this one.
So is this about the same age as a Lulu cat?
No, it's older.
It's older, so there's probably
something else about it.
Less of these knocking around, yeah.
And something else about it is that if Wikipedia is correct, this was actually the very first Furreal Friend.
Was there? Out of the range?
According to Wikipedia, this was the first one.
It's certainly old enough, isn't it?
So it's definitely going to be collectible. You know, It's definitely going to go up in value, I think.
So it's older than the parrot?
Yes.
Walker's macaw?
Yes, 5 years older than the parrot. So, folks, that about wraps it up for this comparison. Hope you found that interesting and enjoyable. I'll be back with another comparison very soon, as I'm going to compare Marmalade with my Meow Ever. As they're both therapy cats.
That's right, yeah.
But that's it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching as always, and see you next time.